there, and welcome to Series About Rugby League. I'm Joe Needley, and in this video I'm going to be previewing the fourth round of the Coral Challenge Cup, which will get underway this weekend. Now, in particular, I'm going to be previewing each game and to see who will come out on top. Now, first up, we've got the Leigh Centurions against the Batley Bulldogs to be played on Friday night. The Centurions, of course, 1971 winners, and of course in 21 as well. But then again in 2016, Derek Beaumont, he did speak about possibly an unbeaten run in the Championship and a Wembley trip. Whether that will happen this year remains unknown. But they have to be favoured in this one because the Batley Bulldogs, three Challenge Cup winners, three times winners themselves, and the very first winners, of course, back in 1897. However, it is a big ask. It's a tall order for them and a big ask for the Bulldogs. And Leigh, they've started the season ever so well, 3 from 3. And home advantage as well. Leigh just looked too strong. So they're the first winners of the weekend for me. Game number 2, Sheffield against Halifax. Now, these two have already played this season, with Halifax pinching the match very late on over at the Share. However, this one, Sheffield have the home advantage, and the 1998 winners, and of course, last year's 1895 Cup winners against Widnes in the final. That was last season. The Eagles there may look good money for the win there, even though they started the season somewhat slowly. Halifax there, even though they've managed to get at least a win this season, 5 Challenge Cup wins in the past as well, and of course last season's semi-finalists, they stunned us all by getting that far. However, it'll take something special here because on Tuesday they were forced to wait until Tuesday to play the Rams. They came a bit unstuck there, and I think they may still be hurting there. So I'm going to say this time Sheffield will edge it, home advantage and all. But you never know, it could be wrong. You never underestimate Halifax, as we've seen so far in Rugby League. Next up, speaking of a Halifax team, is Siddle, the amateur side, who overcame West Hull in the last round. They're at home against the Newcastle Thunder of League One. Now, Siddle, they did historically reach the third round only to go out to Toronto back in 2017. They did push the Wolfpack all the way in what was miserable conditions, and it wouldn't surprise me if we had it again this weekend, considering all the storms. And of course, Siddle, 4 times National Conference League Premier champions as well, so they never know, there may be good money this weekend. But against a semi-professional outfit like Newcastle Thunder, who were quarter-finalists back in 2009 in the Cup, and of course 2008 League One champions, they'd have to be favoured here, the higher division team there. Siddle may give it a good go. They can be a very plucky side to beat. However, Newcastle should have too much for them, superior fitness and all, so it's Newcastle there for me. Next up, another amateur team, this time the Leigh Miners Rangers, will travel away to the Swinton Lions. Now, Swinton may have their, even though they've started the season quite strongly, could have their work cut out somewhat, as the Leigh Miners may come and will want to come and cause a bit of a stir. But home advantage, I think Swinton, they've got to be favoured here. The 3 times Challenge Cup winners, as well as managing to survive relegation 4 years in a row as well in the Championship. The Lions, they're always tough. You never know when they're beat. And that is the sort of right attitude that Stuart Littler has instilled there. Leigh Miners, they may put up some excellent resistance, but they will inevitably crumble away there. So it's Swinton there for me. Next up is, and the last one on the Saturday, Featherstone Rovers against the Barrow Raiders. Now, Featherstone, last year's Championship Grand Finalists, as well as the 2017 Challenge Cup Quarter Finalists. The Rovers at home, even though they would be favoured here, but Barrow Raiders, even though they won the Cup back in 55, somewhat more recently, they did go to Featherstone and record a 38-16 win very recently. Surprising all in the Championship, as Featherstone still later finished quite high up in 3rd place and the Grand Final. But never underestimate Barrow, even though they've been relegated now into League One. They may go and cause Featherstone a bit of a stir there themselves, but it is difficult seeing past Featherstone here. They'll really want to have a historic Cup run, Challenge Cup run again, just like they did in 2017, and home advantage and a higher league. Pardon that. So Featherstone, they are favoured for me. I'm going to go for them. Next up, a rather historic game in the Bradford Bulls. Of course, you know their history in the Cup. If not, I'll go through some of it in a moment for you. Against the Underbank Rangers, another amateur side making some headway in the Challenge Cup. Now, the Bulls, 5 times winners and all, have actually not won at Wembley since 1949 when they beat old enemies Halifax. So even though they're in the Championship, they want a bit of a run under John Keir. And of course, we all know Keir is famous for his Challenge Cup upsets. However, if Keir and Bradford won this one, in fairness, it wouldn't be an upset. It is fully expected. Underbank, they were invited back into the Conference League in 2013, founded all the way back in '84, so one of Rugby League's oldest clubs. They should be proud that they're going to go out and represent the Amateur League away at the Bulls, or away at Dewsbury with respect. However, it is hard seeing past John Keir's Bradford. Same again, if Underbank, they might cause some resistance, even take advantage of what could be a good leveller in this weather. But it is the Bradford Bulls for me. They'll have too much. Superior fitness, home advantage, whatever you want to say, it's Bradford. Now, on to another one on Sunday. Oh, by the way, the Bradford Underbank one, don't forget, just quickly, you can catch that on BBC Sport at the weekend, kicking off at 1 o'clock. Next up, the North Wales Crusaders are up against Hunslet in an all-League One affair. A bit of a tougher game to call this one there. North Wales, 2015 League One Cup winners, as well as 2013 League One winners as well. Hunslet, 1999 Second Division, or Championship, the Betfred Championship as it's called now, as well as 2 times League One winners as well. A difficult game to call here. Most sides in the same division, you never know which way it could go. However, home advantage, and considering that the season isn't underway yet, so both sides, even though they've had some run-outs, maybe just a bit of practice and whatnot. But North Wales could edge this one. I mean, Hunslet, they've got a bit of a distance to go, so it may impact them mentally up there. That's not discrediting Hunslet, you never know, they could surprise me and go win. But I think they're just going to be edged out in this one. It's North Wales Crusaders, home advantage. Both of them haven't played yet, and therefore Crusaders have always been a difficult side to topple over there. It's them for me, the Welsh. Next up, and this one's on the Our League app on Sunday as well, the London Broncos, relegated from the Betfred Super League last season, will play at home against the York City Knights. The Broncos, 1999 runners-up in the tournament, against the York City Knights, who last won it in 31. So both sides, as I say, they've not exactly had a lot of luck trying to get to Wembley in recent years at least. So therefore, both sides have got a point to prove, and therefore this could be a real tough affair. London, a very difficult side to beat. They're everyone's favourites to return to the Betfred Super League this season. Whereas the Knights had a bit of a tough start with away defeats to Toulouse and to the Leigh Centurions just gone. However, they finished in the top 5 last year with good reason as well. And then they could be contenders for the playoffs again. However, the long trip to London, yet again, it's travel. It may impact them up there. The Broncos being a full-time outfit as well. They've got the advantage, not only being at home, but perhaps the physical fitness as well. And it could be a fast game. The artificial pitch there, maybe too fast for a part-time side like York. So it's London Broncos for me. Now up is the Rochdale Hornets will play against the British Army. Now, Rochdale, being in League One and all, had a bit of a difficult start to the season, considering it hasn't got underway yet, what with the pitch being a bit rough there. Against the British Army, who have they've got a decent run going, beating Alton Raiders, Scarlett and Innsrose Bridge on here. They'll be looking to face their dream of Super League opposition. But away at Rochdale Hornets, it could be a bit of an ass there, because Rochdale still in League One, still semi-professional as well. 1922 Cup winners as well. It was a long time ago, but hey, they've got history. And of course, 2016 Third Division champions, or League One as we call it. So Rochdale being at home, high division, it is Rochdale for me on that basis. It's a basis that I've more or less said before in this video as well, but it is still Rochdale for me. 3 to go. Now, this one takes us up to Cumbria as Whitehaven face Dewsbury in an all Betfred Championship Club affair. Now, Whitehaven have had it tough. 3 defeats from 3 already this season, 2 of them being at home as well, against the Dewsbury Rams, who, even though they've had a rough start to the season, they actually then went and got quite a remarkable victory at Halifax on Tuesday. Even though they did score, they were outscored in trials 3-2, but regardless, they got the win, and that's what matters, and it certainly matters in this one. A very tough one, but Dewsbury, a bit of a distance to travel, yes, but Whitehaven, they've not had the best start to the season. I think they're still adapting to facing tougher opposition in the Championship. And even though they got home advantage in this one and the shorter turnaround, I can't really see past the Dewsbury win here. It'll be close, but I think Dewsbury Rams are going to edge it. I mean, they've got the more experience in their side. I mean, Paul Sykes and Liam Fing on amongst others. They've got the professional experience in their side, so Dewsbury on that basis will just get it edged. Penultimate game, the Widnes Vikings against the Oldham Roughheads, or Oldham Rugby League Football Club. Now, Widnes, 7 times Challenge Cup winners, their last one being in '84 against Wigan, against Oldham, who are 3 times Challenge Cup winners, their last being all the way back in '27. And Oldham, they're no strangers to winning cups. I mean, who could forget their 9 Lancashire County Cups? The most recent one being in '58 as well, so you never know. I mean, this one, even though they've already played this season, Widnes getting a heavy win at Oldham. The magic of the Challenge Cup might not surprise us, because Oldham, they have been known to be underestimated in this tournament. Just ask Hull Kingston Rovers 4 years ago. But here, the Widnes Vikings, they've got more experience in their ranks. They've already got a win against Oldham this season, as I just mentioned there. It is hard seeing past Widnes. The 3G pitch as well to take into consideration too. Therefore, I'm going to go for a Widnes win on this one. They tick all the boxes. They look like they've got the advantage in every department. So sorry, Oldham fans. So it's going to be a Widnes win, I think. Last one, back up to Cumbria as Workington Town face Doncaster in an All League One affair. Workington, 1952 winners, and of course a previous Super League club all the way back in '96. Doncaster, though, previously in the Championship and challenged for promotion last season to get back there. They came a bit unstuck, and this one could be a tough game against Workington. I mean, they'll both be challenging for promotion this season, no doubt. Even though Doncaster, well, it's hard maybe seeing past a Workington win over Doncaster here. They got the home advantage up there in Cumbria. Yet again, it's going to be the travel factor, the mental factor on Doncaster. Whether Richard Horne can get his side over it remains unknown. They have got some stars in their team, but it will be difficult seeing past a Workington win. So unlike Whitehaven and Barrow, I'm going to say Workington will fly the Cumbrian flag and will be the only Cumbrian team in the 5th round of the Challenge Cup. So that concludes my predictions for all 12 games in the Coral Challenge Cup round 4. Make sure you get to a game this weekend, because the road for Wembley is well and truly underway, and it's going to get serious because the winners of these games will of course face last year's Super League bottom 4. So you never know, Super League opposition could be awaiting your side. We will see as the road to Wembley continues. I'm Joe Needley. You can subscribe to the series about Rugby League. We're on Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. Once again, thank you for your time.